Osimhen, I hope he stays fit because, you know, sometimes when you've had a good season like he has had, breaking the African record that stood over the years, you know, did something remarkable where big names like George Weah have been called, people like Maradona have been called, you know, he has done well for himself. And let's not forget last season, he got injured at some point, but this man left, came back. It seemed like he was never out of the team. He was still able to be the highest goal scorer for that side at the end of the season. We saw his goal contribution, and it wasn't just not about just scoring goals. We saw how he carried the team alone every time he had to play, bringing the Kvaratskhelia, the Simeones. We saw what Anguissa was able to do in midfield. And so we saw how pivotal Osimhen was to that side. I really hope that for Osimhen, he stays fit, he's able to replicate, because this is something that we've not seen from the African players in a long time. We've not had them being consistent. I think apart from Salah and Mahrez and maybe Mane, it's been a long time we've had a player, and good thing for him, he wasn't playing in England. He's playing in Italy, and he was able to get a shout even from there. So I hope he stays fit. I hope he's able to get the goals in. I hope that the new manager coming in will also make him a priority, because, you know, managers have different ways of wanting to play. They have their own different kind of striker. We hope Osimhen is still this kind of striker, and then Osimhen is able to, you know, still replicate. Lastly, let me just touch on Halaand also. Can Halaand replicate what he did last season? I think that's going to be tough, because if there's something that I understand about the Premier League, when you come into the league, your first season is a season for experiment. Now, trust me, right now, as the season is over and is about to start, most of these managers, what they do is they are going back to last season's team. They are going to be doing a lot of case study on Halaand. Where does he like to receive the ball? They'll be looking, okay, what are his strengths on the ball? Where does he like receiving the ball? His body composure. How does he like? So what they'll be doing is, right now, this season, I think he'll be found out a bit. Will he score goals? Yes. Halaand is a goal machine. He's going to score goals, but I don't think he will do as much as 36 like he did last season. But I still expect him to do maybe about 27, 28 goals this season, because trust me, Halaand is really, really a good striker. Halaand is not about the City setup. It's about the man himself. Like I said, a goal machine. So I still expect him to get the goals, but the goals will reduce, because trust me, Premier League managers, they're not going to allow you to do that to them back to back to back.
And Halaand replicates his form last season. That's a very big feat. Almost 50 goals in all competition. I think 50 and above goals in all competition. It's going to be extremely difficult. I've been saying something and I'll say it again. I think Halaand has had his best season in a Manchester City shirt in the Premier League. Before the number was brought down, it was formerly held by Cristiano Ronaldo. Salah threw it apart, made it 32 goals. Halaand now has broken those numbers and done 34. It's going to be extremely difficult for him to replicate those numbers. We're looking at the human angle. Of course, we look at the skill, the talent angle. But the human angle, in his mind, what exactly it is that he wants to do. I think Halaand is a player who he challenges himself. He would want to break down numbers. But let's talk about the team. At the time when Halaand came to City, they let go of Aguero, let go of Sterling, let go of a lot of players who contribute goals forward. So Halaand was the only player they were looking for to make goals. Halaand started doing that before they brought in Julian Alvarez. Now Alvarez is also a hungry player who wants to score goals. So it's going to be extremely difficult for City to just allow Halaand score all those goals alone. Number one, Pep is not going to support him. Pep has showed over and over again that he doesn't want anybody to be as great as Messi under him. That's one. Number two, you have Julian Alvarez and other people who want to score goals. Number three, City as a team, I think they are going to be on the back pedal this season. They're not going to push so hard like they did previously. So I think all of these factors are going to affect Halaand. So maybe he's going to have good numbers, but I don't think he's not going to have as great as the number he had last time. Then for Victor Osimhen maintaining his form from last season, that's going to be very, very, very tricky. Victor Osimhen has shown that he's not a consistent player. I mean, Nigeria, I love Victor Osimhen, but he's shown that he's not consistent. Since he was brought in from Lille to Napoli, he's been injury prone. So injury can be part of why a player will be inconsistent. I'm not talking about the talent or his productivity. You're talking about injury. That's a human angle. When injury comes in, it doesn't matter how hungry you are, how passionate you are, you're not able to score goals. So if Osimhen stays fit, yes, you'll be able to replicate his feat last season. But if he doesn't stay fit, that's going to be extremely difficult. His talent-wise, Osimhen can go on and consistently score goals. But can that win them the talent series? I don't know. So consistency level, I think yes, if he's not injury prone.
Let's start with Haaland. Yeah, the chances of Haaland getting his mark is likelier than Arsenal finishing second. Yeah, that's how fantastic Haaland has been all through his career. From Norway's under 21, under 17 to Salzburg to Dortmund and now Manchester City. He's been banging in goals left, right, and center. As long as he has supply, he's going to score. With Victor Osimhen, curious and interesting. So this is the first time he's hit this sort of landmark numbers in his career, and it's interesting to see how he builds on from it. So under Spalletti, who is renowned with working with fantastic attacking players, we saw the best of Osimhen. There's a new coach at Napoli, and that's Rudy Garcia. If you take a look at Garcia's most successful spell, it was with League. When they won the league in 2010-2011, they had Eden Hazard and Musasu. That season, Musasu finished as a top scorer, 25 goals, also an African. So maybe like he might strike twice. Osimhen is African.
Halaand, who broke the Premier League record for most goals scored in a singular season, in a 20 league season, 20 team league. That was 36 goals in last season. And of course, Victor Osimhen. Both of them had fantastic seasons. Both ended up highest goal scorers in their respective league, breaking records along the way. Do I think that they can replicate it this coming season? For a certain Haaland, yes. Haaland has done so much amazing things throughout his career. I've seen him just packing goals and goals and goals and goals. Don't be surprised if he's gone in for to be like the likes of Ronaldo and Messi when they were at their prime, hitting 40, 50 goals every season. I think Haaland is trying to hit those numbers constantly. So I think that Haaland can absolutely replicate it. I don't think that he will score 36 goals in the league again, because I think that was just amazing. But 30 plus goals, I think he can score. Victor Osimhen, now this is the tricky thing. I think Osimhen is talented. I also think that one thing that helped Napoli last season was the element of surprise. So not just Osimhen being at top of the run, you also need his partner in crime last year, which was Kvaratskhelia. Both of them blazing at the same time. It's going to be tough. I've seen this with teams pop up, and I think back up to Wolfsburg when they won the league season in 2009 with Felix Magath in the team. Remember the likes of Grafite, Senko, and Miselomovic did amazing. Replicate it became a problem. So when you look at Osimhen, I think that he can still do 20 plus goals, but the way he was probably top 3 best strikers in world football last season, I don't know if he can do that, but I still expect a good season for him. As for Haaland, I think Haaland can do 30 goals again. It's easy for him. Haaland has shown that this is what you feed him, he will score. And in Man City, he has a lot of people. He plays with Kevin De Bruyne, probably the best creative player on the planet right now. Not about to say not named Lionel Messi, but over with Messi, you put it like so. Best creative player in Europe, hands down. So with him around, with Bernardo Silva, if he stays, you imagine that the Man City will add some other players within that team if with outgoings. I think that they are going to be a feeder for him, and he's going to score a whole lot of goals. For Osimhen, I still think that he can score 20 plus goals. I don't know if he'll hit the heights that he hit last season, but I still think that he can have a really good season.
I'll go back to England and talk about Halaand. I see that boy banging in goals every season. He's only going to improve at 22. What more can you improve on? Maybe being more involved in the game outside of goal scoring. He's playing for Guardiola. I expect that. He's, for me, one of the most efficient footballers we've seen in recent times. With touches in the box, passes outside the box, and his involvement in the game. If that man improves, he will look to getting another 30 goals with ease. Go to Osimhen. Osimhen is a goal scoring machine. Whether he will score as many goals is fully dependent on the playing style of the new coach. If the coach comes and changes the pattern, it might affect him. If he doesn't, expect him to bang in goals again. And I agree with the boy for staying in Napoli. Right now, things are working for you. If you go to a Madrid or a Man U, you bring pressure with you. Ride out maybe another season, then see what the market sees.